welcome to another live stream Coffee and Coding. I've got my coffee and it's half full and not as hot as it once was. But it will do. Alright. This is where I've left off after my last coding session. Some stuff I did last night. We have working audio, so let's just go through. Just kind of reminding myself where I was, as long as no other bugs pop up. Alright, we got our characters here, and if I load up the menu, got the inventory, we can see we got some spell books. And if I pick that up and try, oh wait a minute. How did I get the audio working before? Let's see. I got the audio working before. That's right. It was through here. Okay. Let me try that now. Let's try again.
I can't learn this spell.
There we go. So, essentially, this is the start of the game. The characters who chose skills, they are magical skills, have books that they can learn. And if you try to equip it with somebody who can't learn it,
I can't learn this spell.
they say so.
This will come in handy.
Oh, apparently she could learn that one. Well,
I already know this amazing spell.
well, there you go. She already knows that spell,
This will come in handy.
so that must have been the one.
This will come in handy.
And
I can't learn this spell.
This will come in handy. This will come in handy.
yeah, so that's where we are there, which is great. And now if I pause this, we can check out our game data on the players. And we have, not voice, but this is going to be this player here, this blue character named Thurdan. Depending on how you want to pronounce it, up to you. And we have spells, learn spells. So now we've got magic, missile, and stun. So that's great. Now we need to show these up in the magic menu. Now this is going to throw some bugs most likely, because I haven't actually updated this. This is an older version that definitely needs to be updated. I did some last night. Alright, so we do get one bug there. The idea will be that there will be options for various types of magic spell classes, schools or whatnot, and then a list of all the spells. And I got this icon pack from the Asset Store. And this will be my stand-in icons just to have something to work with. These are not the style I will be using, but better to have something, in my opinion, than nothing. What is this null reference? I'm digging into this. I'm just gonna pause this or stop that right there. Just to, I think I'm gonna have to start from scratch almost on this, because I fixed some stuff last night, and it's clear that this is old. If I look at my stats, where's my stats? I've forgotten where I put all my scripts. There's so many. RPGs. They say don't start making an RPG, but I think they're right. Luckily, this isn't my first rodeo. It's my subsequent, second big rodeo. But it's been a while since the first. So let's see. So this should be all the menus. Skill panel. No. Magic menu.cs. Magic menu. I'm going to move this to the menus and stats. Stats menu. Where is it now? That's a good question. It is just in regular scripts. Well, let's move that. Make it easier to find. All right. There we go. So I'm going to copy these all over. Where'd my magic menu go? It disappeared from Writer because I moved its location. Oh, now everything moved there. All right. All right, it was only a menu control. Okay. So, stats menu has all this stuff, and then we have this on enable, and I'm going to need to make sure I have an on enable for this as well. Instead, I'm doing it on awake, it looks like. So, I don't think I need this. So, I'm using active player and stats menu, player selected. All right, so we're going to add that one. Public int player selected. -1. Now, I don't think I'm going to need this one, but yeah. And okay, I'm going to move this to a new method. I'm going to call this public void link active player and link active player. All right, so if this panel is active, then we're going to flip this around. If it's not, then return. And then on our second part here, if our active player is the active player, then we're going to return. Otherwise, check selected player. Did I already move it? Yeah, I should have read ahead. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I will just place this here and comment out this part because I don't think we need two of these. Essentially, link active player is going to link the active player, and that's this part right here. And then load buttons, and I'm going to add I don't think I'm going to need this. So we're going to say reload equals true, and then if not reload, then return. So this will link the active player only if the panel is active, and it will only link it if the active player isn't already set. So that links it right here. And then if we're not reloading, then it will return. Otherwise, it's going to load the buttons and load the panel, which is loading all the UI stuff. And that's what's happening in this active setup. But I can remove that. So I'm going to say change this to link player and reload UI. So now wherever I have active setup, okay. So I think I can stop this here. And then here as well, because instead of active setup, which I'm going to comment out for now, I'm going to call link player and reload UI. And I'm going to put this into that as well. I don't think I need the index of the active player, but I'm going to save it for now just in case. Because really, this is the important part right there, that this matches. And if it doesn't match, then it means we need to load the UI. Coffee time. All right. And then every late update, we're going to check again. And this is basically going to say, hey, if I select a different player, then you're going to relink the player and reload the UI. So that should be good there. Let's see. I think I'm the only one watching right now. I do wonder. It says one watching right now. One watching now. I'm watching now, but under my own account. So I don't know if that counts or not. So it's either I'm the only one watching or there's one person watching. Who knows? Who knows? All right. So, let's see. Did I want to talk on Discord? Nope. Nope, nope, nope. All right. Let's see. Is that good enough to test? Load buttons and load panels. We're going to have to do these again. Okay. Oh, hey, Mark. Okay, now, thank you. This is proven. This is proven that YouTube does not count me when I'm logged into my own stream. I've actually wondered that for weeks now, maybe even a couple months. So thanks, Mark, for confirming that. It's a mystery, finally solved. All right, so all right, let's just see what happens when I load up the magic menu for any character. Click that button. All right, good. All right, load buttons. This is going to be the buttons at the top. So we'll start with that. We don't need this. This is the old method. We have active player. And so on active player, we actually have a new magic book panel that I added last night. And actually, I put this as -1 because none are selected. And we'll change this to less than 0, not 99, because, excuse me, I have learned that -1 is the universal not yet set. We'll change these to active player. And we need this. So RPGF, this art has learned skill. This is old too. So let's just break this down and see what we're doing here. All right, we can keep the debug log. Clear the spell menu. What is that doing? All right, we'll deal with this later because it looks like it's just going to clear all the spells down here, and that's fair. Spell skills equals 0. All right, that means no skills. We'll change this to skills available equals 0. And all right, magic menu length. Okay, magic menu is something I've probably hard coded then. Yes, it's an array of magic menu UI. Really? Why? Let's see. I might just redo this part because I don't I don't think I need as much as I was putting. I mean, in a way, this can be hard-coded. I'm not going to... I mean, I might change the magic spells in the future, but it's less likely than other things. All right, the spells panel is magic menu. And these are all old. Very old. Yeah, so I don't think we need magic menu UI, but where is that here? Panel buttons. No. Quick spell. Oh, okay. It's weird, I thought they would disappear. Oh, it's because I'm in pause mode? Yeah, okay. So these are the buttons. And I suppose I can hard code this for now, just using this system. I'm just thinking like out loud, kind of. Yeah, I suppose that would make sense. All right, so magic menu UI. Because this, I'm not going to have one panel per spell book now. It's going to be just loaded by automatically. I think if I were to turn this off, so I think what I was doing is playing on saying, hey, if you only know body magic, for instance, then all of these would be turned off and you'd only have body magic as the spell option there. I think for now I'll probably just not do that, but or maybe I will. I don't know. Let's set this up. So let's pause. I'm going to add some icons to this, make it prettier. And to do that, we're going to just turn this on for now. We'll have to remember to turn spell panels off and go to our, where is it? Here. So I'm going to need to find some placeholders for these. I don't think it does, like, no, not the text. Whoops, I expanded all of these. I didn't need to. Okay, body magic. Let's find a body magic. The problem with icons from the Asset Store, sometimes they work well, but oftentimes they're just not quite what we're looking for. Most seem to be like attack spells. I went through a whole bunch of different options, and they most seem to be attack spells and whatnot. So body magic, I could use that for body magic for now. Might find a better one. I can always change it later. So we're going to use body magic, throw in that. All right, and so we're not going to do a sprite swap. Instead, we're going to do color tint, body magic button, normal color, disabled color. That's what we're going to do for. All right, we'll just leave it at that for now. You can always update those later. Mind magic. Was there one for mind magic? I should probably just look for all of these while I'm here. There's so many. Okay, page 2. That kind of looks like fire. That kind of looks like fire too. Can I just drag it up here like this? Nope. Color tint. Okay, I'm going to change all of these to color tint. Alright, so we're still looking for mind magic, water, air, earth, light, dark. All of those. That's a good one for haste. That works well. Let's see. And the style of these don't match each other as well. You'd think that they would if they're all from the same person, but and in the same package, but this is a different style than the other one. So many. It's like looking for a font. When you're looking for a new font, after like 5 minutes and seeing 50 fonts, they all start looking the same. Yeah, these styles look like they're all from different artists rather than the same artist. Maybe they are. I'm not seeing any that work. Those are good for arrow spells. Alright, page 4. Looks like all nature spells. Be good for my earth magic. We need brain or okay, this will work for mind. We'll use that for mind. Although there's a better one, I'm sure, somewhere. Okay. And we still need water, air, earth, light, dark. Okay, we'll use this for earth. Good enough. As the great Jason Wyman says, make progress, not perfection. So really fast. All right, page 5. Yeah, these don't look like, these are flat. These are very different from the others. Okay, let's go page 6. All right, I need, could this one be light? I think the color's off. This is better for body. I'm going to switch body to this one. Yeah, that's better. This one could be light or dark. Let's make it light. This could be dark. I'll make that dark. Always change it out if I find a better one. Gives this one. Is it that one? No, it's this one. There we go. Yeah, that works. Dark is hard to show, I would assume, because how do you show dark, right? Air and water. Air and water. You'd think those would be fairly simple. No. A big water droplet and windstorm. So many. Yet so hard. These are very different. These are like stained glass here. It's not. Alright, come on, come on, come on, come on. Could this be air? For now, if I don't find something better, yes, it could. For now. What is that? A hose? Could that be water? Is that a hose with water coming out of it? I don't know. There's a red one back there that, if it were blue. Oh, okay, okay. Water magic. That's a fish. So, water. Alright. Just quickly go through the rest just to see if I find something that works tons better. That's probably better. Water magic. Is that better for the air magic? Probably. A little bit better. Yeah. And maybe this is better for the fire magic. That's better for that's like a torchlight spell actually. Which I'm going to have a torchlight spell. So maybe I'll save that. Make that fire magic. Good enough. Alright. Quick clear magic spell, or quick spell, we'll deal with that later after we get everything else set up. Alright, so we have our buttons now. And yes, more meaningful names than spellbook page 09. I mean, my guess is this is a bundle of sorts, so my guess is they made these all separate times. But yeah, if they were organized by at least some general class structure, obviously not every game is going to have the same classes, but yeah, I totally agree. I need more coffee. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back with more coffee. Alright, so we'll turn this off and press play. No magical spells. Ah, okay, so that part's working now. Look at that. Didn't have to do anything. Maybe I will keep that. You do not have any magical skills. And these ones will just show those. That's cool. It's I for me, having these is better than having nothing. I'll have to figure that one out. All right, so what happens when I click one of these? What's going on here? Left mouse down. That's it. Do I have something on here? Aha. On click is empty. All right, so on click's going to have to do something on these. It's going to have to call the magic menu and tell it what button got clicked, and that's going to be magicmenu.cs. So where's magic menu? Is that on here? It is. So take all of these and we will magic, wrong one, spells panel. And let's create the method, if it's not already there. Is it there? Let's see. Load buttons, clear spell menu, load panel, new panel. Okay, it's probably load panel is what but we're going to do something more specific. Public void magic button got pressed, and we'll do an int button ID or index, we'll call it. And all right. All right, so magic button got pressed, and I'm just gonna go down the list and just change these index. Hey, look, apparently I did this before because they're already set. So the 7 different schools of magic, or 8 different schools of magic, set there, and then I'm guessing that they're going to be set in the same order here. Great. Hold on one second. Sorry, a work message popped up on a Saturday, and turns out me and the 2 other people on my team were all around. This is we need lives. I mean, I've got a life, right? I think. I enjoy this life of coding on the weekends. Let's see. Magic button got pressed. What happens when a magic button gets pressed? We need to load that panel. And so we can say active player dot magic book panel equals button index. And then, as we have in our load panel. So simply, when the button got pressed, we're going to tell the active player is now looking at this one. That way later on, if they reload the menu, the same menu that they were on will load, and then we're going to load the panel. And that's this part. So, spellbook panel set active false. All right, so this is the old book. We're not going to do this anymore, I think. What's load panel do? What's the difference between load panel and load menu? I don't even know. Let's do a brand new one. How about that? Um, 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 um. We got, what are we doing? Load panel. So we're gonna do reload magic spells panel. Make it very explicit what we're doing here. Public void that. And so I want to make sure that the magic spells panel is always up. So I'm going to make that reload, and so that when you have no spells, it's not going to show nothing. It's going to show like an empty book. At some point, I would love to have like a visual book there. So that's in the future. But for now, we can kind of prepare for it a little bit. Just want to see what happens now. Work crisis is over. All right. So where is our spell, our panel, and why is it disappearing? If I load this up, it's because it's not actually there. So okay, let's adjust these. Magic spell list. Move that up. This is the spells panel. It's not really a book size, but that's okay. I'll figure that out later. I might one day move these to the side so I can have more vertical space here to do the book, because under here is going to be the portraits. And this is like a really long book. So if I move these over here, then this could be a book, and that's a little bit more book size. But for now, we'll do that. And then for this, I'm just going to turn that off. I don't think I need that. And then the panels, I think, yeah, this was all hard-coded. This the details. So if you right-click, that pops up. What does this look like if I... All right, so that's what this... Okay, we're going to call this spells list. And do we have... It's an auto-grid layout group, so if I remove all of these, or just turn one off, what happens? Okay, so if I turn one off, they all get auto-grid. So it's going to go left to right, top to bottom. And I'm thinking of making this into a prefab, and then when we load it, yeah, when we load it, we'll have to populate this UI spell. We'll change this, or we'll populate spell name, and then on click, it's going to say I got clicked, and call the magic menu. When we load it, we'll call magic menu. Okay, so that's fine. So magic book spell button, and on that we'll do this. Do I already have a got clicked? UI spell? No. Let's start with that. We're gonna have to change all of this too, but for now, public void got clicked. Debug.log. I got clicked. And spell name. Just put that there for now. I hate that. I always get impatient and then the window moves instead of doing just nothing or something. Okay. So UI spell got clicked. All right. Where's my prefabs? UI. Put that there. Yeah. Okay. Open prefab. Gosh, I gotta do that here. Got clicked. Magic spell button. That's probably a good enough name. And I need the button to be turned on. All right. Save that. All right, I can turn all of these. Delete. Oh, come on. Delete. Okay, open prefab. Try that again. So I'm keeping all of my required stuff in one prefab so that the same over all the scenes. And that's what's going on here. So we can delete those, delete all of those, and call this spell list. That should be good. Yes, save that. Ooh, it's just in the middle. Do I want it in the middle? That's fine for now. Or left. Yeah, middle center. It's fine. All right. All right. So this is going to say got clicked, and that'll read out got clicked, and this is going to be on, and let's see what happens. Do I need to change my code? Can't remember if there's code that tells that to turn off or not, but if there is, we'll need to fix that. Hello, Hirosol. I don't know how to pronounce your name there, Hirosol, but I'm going to call you Hirosol. I hope that's okay with you. All right, so that's good. That little you don't have spells is there, but that's okay. I got clicked. Good. Now that won't show up because we need to load the spells, but that's okay. Alright, so our magic spell list here, what we really need is to magic menu, we need to add a couple things up here. Okay, I'll add them down here. We're going to go with header. How do you do a header? Plumbing or prefabs, etc. Is that how you do a header? No. How do you do a header? Forgotten how to do headers. I'm trying to remember these things off the top of my head, but it doesn't always work that way. I feel like I've got to have a header somewhere. Do I not have a header here that I can just kind of steal from? I guess not. All right. A header attribute. That's right. Isn't that what I had? Yeah. What the heck? Alright, public. Maybe that's what I need. Game, object, and magic spell button prefab. Ah, I just needed a... Okay. Just needs a field under it. Otherwise it wouldn't work. Yeah. super close. I'm glad I got the name super close. Thanks, sir. Seven. Let's see. What was the other thing? I need the panel itself. So public game object. Oops. Game object. Magic spells panel, I guess. And so we're going to put these prefabs into this panel. And that should be good, I think. So reload magic spells panel. Oh, I guess we should probably keep a list of... we can do this private, I think, list of game objects. And this is going to be active magic spell buttons. New list. Object. And because we need to be able to clear this, so that's what we'll do. Load buttons. We're going to start by clearing the spell menu. So I'm going to not use that method. We're going to say remove spell buttons, and put that in a different method. Remove spell buttons, and this is going to do one thing. Dot clear. Actually, no, not clear. First, we have to destroy them. For each game object, object in dot that object dot destroy. Yeah? How do you destroy? Like that. Destroy object. And then clear. So that will remove any buttons technically and clear the list. And then we will add the list. I'm not going to have the you don't have message. I think I'm just going to scratch that for now. So I'm going to rewrite this whole thing, I think. Let's see. So now we need to add the available spells. So how do we get the available spells? Well, first thing, if the current player has no available magic schools or whatnot, skills, then we don't do anything. So when we load the buttons, do we keep track of how many buttons, skills available? We should go through this because I think this is what I'm gonna want to save. Wait, this is that one. Oh no, this is the right one. Yeah. So I need to remove this entirely. All right, let's comment this out and see how it breaks. If we comment that out, see if it still loads these buttons up top at the top. I think half of my coding time or more is just updating the old code and figuring out what I was doing a few months ago. But that's okay. It's a good way to learn, I suppose. All right, load that. All right, so now it's showing everything. So that's, it was doing something there. So we need to, but this RPGF has learned skill is old. So, so we need to do something very similar. So I'm going to add a private int active spell books equals h1. I'll just say 0. And that's what we're going to be keeping track of right here. So if we're loading the buttons, okay, I think I put some, I'm confused myself putting buttons into the wrong spot. Or something. So this is going to be down here. That's adding the available spells down there. Loading the buttons, I'm going to change this to be load spell skill spell load spell book buttons. All right, so yes, load the spell book buttons and that. All right. Let's remove spell buttons. All right, so this needs to go down here. Okay, so we're loading the spell book buttons. These are hard-coded. So we're going to start by going through. So magic menu is what we're really looking at. Okay, magic menu UI. So we're going to change that to magic or spell book buttons. All right, so spell book buttons. Okay, we'll do the okay, so for each spellbook button, if the player's learned it, if the player has the skill, turn on, otherwise turn off. So if active player that has learned skill, and we're going to say if they're not named by that skill already, then we're going to just name that. Oops. Name. Then spell book buttons I.set active true. All right, .game object maybe. Nope. What is my spellbook buttons? It is a magic menu UI. I don't think we need any of that. So I'm going to change this to public game object. Spell, okay, old, double formerly serialized, spell book buttons, and we'll set those up appropriately. Okay. And not old. Okay, so set active and continue. Otherwise, we're just going to set this to false. Okay. Now let me set those up before I forget. This coffee's not as hot as it was 20 minutes ago. Sometimes I think about investing in one of those plug-in cups that keep coffee hot. Then I think, no, that's probably a waste. Okay, on my spells panel, I'm going to populate these in this order. And I've got to have to rename them as well. Okay, just by removing button. So this is the skill names that the player has to know. They have to know the water magic skill. So by keeping the names the same, that kind of makes it easier. Oops. If I never add another school of magic, then I won't have to come back here necessarily. But I'm going to end up redoing this menu anyways at some point, so it's okay. Make progress, not perfection. Alright, so if we have learned the skill, then set active, otherwise set false. Okay, and that should be the only thing this method does, I think. Let's see. It didn't work. Why didn't it work? Make sure this is going through. Because I'm sure these players have not learned all these skills. Hello, Fredo. How are you? Interesting. Oh, is it not saved? It didn't save. Is that why? It says 0. Hey! What the hell? Alright, let's do this again. And just to make sure, let's just save these changes we've been doing. Good. I'm glad you're doing fine. Me too. Today's okay. Okay, there we go. Now it's loading the right one. So none. There you go. Okay, good. And then let's mouse down. We'll have to figure that part out. All right. Whoops. Wrong button. That's Replica Studios. If you haven't seen my latest videos on Replica Studios and the latest Voices module, definitely check that out. The Voices module is pretty cool. I'm using it already in this game, as I do with all of my modules. Alright, so we can remove this. And that's all this is going to do. All this other stuff, it's not going to do. But I do want to keep track of how many... Do I want to keep track of how many are active? Yeah. And I have this right here. So 0 and plus plus. Okay. Because if we have more than one, reload magic spells panel. So we're going to start by removing, and then if active spell books is greater than 0 or equals 0, then we'll return. If there's nothing to load, we're not going to load, but otherwise we'll load the active spells. And remove spell buttons, active magic spell buttons. Yep. This should be empty by default, right? It's private, so I can't see it here. All right, that's fine. So I do need to set these prefabs here. Prefabs, magic spell button. Get over there, and spells list. Okay, so I'm going to delete this. Open prefab. Gosh, hold on. Let me, I don't know. Maybe doing this in one giant prefab was the wrong idea. I don't know. I guess what I can do is actually just turn that off instead of delete it. All right. So nothing should happen now. Just gonna double check that nothing happens. Good. Nothing happens. Exactly. Nothing happens right there. All right. All right, so where is my writer? Come on, writer. Writer. Okay, so load buttons, then reloads magic spell panel. If there's no active spell books, then we're returning, and then for this is just going through those. Okay. Here's my method gone. All right, now we need to load the active spell book. The spells from the active book. So the player is keeping track of their active spell book. So let's see. String active spell book name equals active player dot spell active. What did I call it? Called it something. Magic panel. Yes, magic panel. Should probably just change the active player, active magic panel equals magic panel. And this is an index, so it's going to be all of our magic panels. Spellbook buttons. Spellbook buttons. That dot name. Why isn't this? Oh, ha. That's why. All right, so this is going to be the name of our active loading spells from that. And then essentially we just need to go through the spells that are part of this, and if the player has it, then display it. Or the easier way would be go through the player's spells, and if the spell is part of this class, then display it. So we'll do that. For each string learned spell in active player dot learned, I should spell that right, player dot learned spells, oops, spells. All right, so first, is the learned spell part of that? And let's find out. How do we find out? I have to remind myself how I organized this. Because the learned spells is just a list of strings, but that links back to the items, spells, and all of these. So I'm going to need to add this novice because these are different classes, but then the skill required is right there. So if skill required, let me move this over so we can see both at the same time. Is the size of the font okay for the stream? I think it is. It's small on my view, but I guess if I go full screen, then yeah, it looks okay. All right, unless you're watching on your phone, in which case I hope you're just listening. All right, so what was I doing? Oh yeah. So game dot spells. It's a list of items. This is using the items module, by the way. Dot get item by learned spell plus novice. So this is the item. Spell equals that. Do I need to? Why is it not coming up? Using infinity PBR dot items module. Nope. Why isn't it working? Definitely calls item. Why would it not be working? Import. Oh, now it's up there. I don't see it in here, but okay. Maybe I was just missing infinity PBR. Oh, I was just missing the infinity PBR. Ah, who knew? All right. So we're going to get this spell. Let's bring this back up. Eventually. All right, so our spells. Now this is our spells down here. Okay. All right, so we're getting the novice version of the spell, and then we're saying if spell dot dictionary dot get value string of skill required. It's going to return water magic for this one. Equals active magic panel. Actually, if it doesn't equal, then we're going to continue. Move that down there. So if it doesn't equal the skill required, then or the current skill, then we're not going to display it. But if it does, then we're going to display it, right? So we're going to say game object new spell button equals instantiate. What did I call it? The magic spells button prefab into the panel. Magic spell button prefab. And the parent will be magic spell panel. Is that good enough? No. Dot transform. There we go. And then we're going to have to populate the data about this button to tell it what it is. So, spells panel. So, this button needs to know what the heck it is. It needs to get its image up there too. So, UI spell is we're gonna use UI spell. So, UI spell equals new spell button dot get component UI spell. UI spell dot. What do we need to tell it? We need to tell it the spell name. Spell name equals learned spell. And we need to tell it. That's it, right? We just need to change the image. We already have that. No, really we need to change it on the button. So, new spell button dot get component button dot, let's see, target graphic equals, well, we need a target graphic. We don't have one yet, but we can add one. So comment that out for now. And this is where we're going to add our graphics for each spell. And this is going to be part of the items module as well. A new dictionary with a texture 2D or sprite. Ooh, do I need to? Will this work? Let's find out. If I go to items, spells, so go to my dictionaries. We're going to add a new dictionary called spell icon. And we only need it for the item, and it's going to be a texture 2D. Okay. So technically, we could have one for each of the skill types, and I think in the end I will, but for now, we're just going to not do that. And also for now, I'm going to just quickly add one for everything, and then we'll go through later and add more specific ones. So for now, I'm just going to bring in this. Can't bring in this, can I? No. Okay. I might need to adjust. I'll figure that out. So I'm going to option click to expand all of these and just bring this over for each one. Boring part. Can I do this? If I option click that, do I set the ability to set up for all? No. Maybe that's something I can add to this, so that if you option drag in, it would replace all of them with the same thing. That would be convenient in some cases. Need elevator music for this. Hey, I missed one. Maybe I should start from the bottom instead. Oh, I'm at the bottom. Or was I? Could be that the frame rate is just really slow right now. You're in the editor. I think we're almost done with this dragging and dropping. It's convenient that we can drag and drop stuff like that, but it's just boring. Alright, I think this is the last one. Alright, so now we just need to load that. Target graphic equals spell dot dictionary dot get value texture 2D spell icon dot sprite. Let's just see what happens there. I can't. Okay, turn texture 2D into a sprite, or get the Unity 3D get sprite from texture 2D. Or texture 2D sprite. Is that an answer? Well, that's not what I want to do. Is there no auto convert? This one's from 2018. The other solution, of course, is to add a sprite texture 2D. And that seems to be like the more convenient way. Since if there's no built-in method, doesn't appear to be a built-in method. Oh well. Well, oops. Then This would require an update to the dictionaries module to add the option for a sprite. In my mind thinking, what does it take to update the dictionary module? Let's find out. Bunch of methods, key values. Let's give it a try. Value sprite, show sprite. Okay. And texture 2D. So essentially it's just copying all of these, but for sprite. Add key value sprite, sprite, value sprite. Okay. Get value. Sprite. This means we're also going to have to do that boring part where we populate them all again. Set value. Okay, so we did add key value. Bug, that's good, caught that. We did get value. We did set value, yep. And that's just the 3. Okay. Now, I don't know if that'll just magically work. Okay, let me comment this out for now. Alright, let's look at our spells again. Doesn't show up in the list here. Okay, so I'm going to need to add it somewhere else. Where do I need to add it? Well, let's start digging. Where's the dictionaries? Okay, editor. Define dictionaries. I don't think I use this anymore. So not that. Key value. Sprite. Okay, so I added there. Don't need that. Did all those. Those are old. Okay, well, let's dig into the items then. So it's going to be here. So it's going to have to be all of the things that have dictionaries need to be updated. Whoops. It's fine. Just checking that I copied everything that says texture 2D to sprite. Okay. Will it show up now? Oops. Uh-oh. Darn it. I have no idea why I just moved. Did you see that? Okay, I think I moved Replica Studios. Gosh. No. Did I move Replica Studios? Alright, I'll keep that there. That's fine. I hate that. Sometimes I move something that I have no idea what it is and I have to go digging. That's in my opinion, a bug. It's worse enough that it's a bug. Alright, sprite. Good. Alright, we'll turn off that. And see if it just works. It's not showing up here. Right? Let's see. Turn the texture 2D back on. Okay, spell icon. Yeah, so it's not showing up here, so there's another place that I need to update it in the items module. Not here. Okay, not there. Not there. I don't think I actually use this part, but just in case. Oops. All right. Texture 2D. Sprites. Okay, only 2 matches there. Whoop, I think it just threw an error. Let's see. This feels like it might be old. I think this is old. Old? Yes, I think it's old. Yeah, in fact, let's clean that up while we're at it. Did that again. Texture, no, okay. All right, is it gonna work now? Might not. It's not showing up. So, what is this? This is the items editor script. So it should be in items editor script. Items. It should be this one. Texture 2D. Why isn't it? All right, let's dig in a little bit. Spells. It is in items. And if we shuffle inspector, dictionary, key values, spell icon, value sprite. Okay, so that exists here. It's turned on. Right here. So in theory, that means like if I turn on float, then under spell icon, the float shows up. But so wherever this happens is where we're missing some code. So dictionary, if button, show dictionary, where's so show key pair header. Okay. If there's no dictionaries, we're returning. Okay, so for each key value, float in first row includes the first row. I'm not sure. Includes the X button. This is different. That is the other panel. So maybe it's item editor. Look at all those lines. Oops, wrong one. Okay, I need to find where is this live? On the items editor, let's just start from the top. Okay, draw. Show panel buttons, that's up here. Okay, show dictionaries. Nope, we're doing show items. Okay, and then show item types, that's there. Add new item, that's here. Then for each item, show item. Then for item, that's this part. Show item header. I believe that's these. Item index. Show item details. Show dictionary. Show inventory item dictionary. Okay. Remove any key values that exist here, but do not exist on the main stats or skill object. This could be where we're going wrong. Show key value list header. That's this. Show key values. Ah, here we are. Custom editor modules, that's why. Sprite. Key value showed for sprite. Okay. So we just do a search for texture 2D again and find wherever this lives. I need to add one for sprite. Value sprite. Sprites there, Sprites there. Sprites there. Okay. We got them all, I think. So now it should show up. I think. Hi, Michael. How are you? All right. Sprite showing up. Okay, good. All right. Let's fix this now. So we only want the sprite to show. Go back to our items. Now we have to do the boring part again. So sorry. It was boring the first time. It will be boring the second time. But it's important. I do wish this sprite would actually show here, you know, like the texture does. Not sure why it doesn't. Actually, in the code we're working on, I'm pulling novice, but I should probably just pull the skill that they're at as well, because these values could all be different, and that's going to be important. I'm going to need to pull the right one anyway, but we'll see. Alright, that should be it. So let me turn off the show full inspector. Alright, now, that was a good interlude. We're going to expect then an update to all the modules. And now you know the secret sauce of how to add new types to the modules. You just have to add it everywhere, essentially. It's fairly easy, just finding all the spots, and then all the other modules that link into it will have to be updated too. All right, let me close these out and get back to business, which was here. Target graphic equals get sprite. Get IE sprite. And it's still throwing me an error. Why? Target graphic sprite. Nope. You do 3D UI button. Is there no sprite? Sprite. So what I'm looking at is, where's my prefab? Source image. It's image, not button. That's image. source. Sprite. There we go. That's what I was looking for. All right. So that should work. Let's see what happens. That's cracking my knuckles. Sorry for the noise. I've ordered a microphone stand so that me tapping on my desk won't necessarily translate through. All right. Magic spells. Errors. Out of bounds. What's out of bounds? All right. Load spell book buttons. All right. Then active magic panel. What's magic panel to name? Spellbook buttons. Actually, play a magic panel name. Maybe we're not saying this properly. That's probably the case. Yeah, because active player, this starts at where was that? We're looking for magic panel. Active player magic panel. Magic panel. Magic panel. Aha. So we're going to start at 0. Actually, -1. And back here, we need to set player magic panel, and that's going to make sure this is not -1. So private void. Actually, wait. If it's -1, then then we should just set it to the current or to the first one. So we should maybe do that here, right here. So we're going to say if active player dot magic panel equals -1, and I'm going to say or can't remember which coding I'm in. Active player dot magic panel equals 99, just in case it's saved from before. I can remove that later. Remove the 99 part later. Then active player dot magic panel equals I. Okay, so that should set it here, and then we won't have to set it later or even worry about it. Remove this. Remove this. Okay. Let's try that. All right. No bugs yet. Loading spells from there. Okay. Okay, now we haven't learned any spells because this game starts with us not having learned
This
spells.
will come in handy. This will come in handy.
Now we've got 2 spells. Go back here. Alright, still didn't show. Oh, there we go. Now, we actually have 2 spells. Let's see. Let's see what spells we've learned and see why only 1 showed up. Where's my game? Alright, so our 3rd player learned spell has Stun and Magic Missile. Let's just check that both of these are listed in my spells. Stun is Earth Magic. Magic Missile is Air Magic. So there should be 1 on each. Oh, whoa, look at that. Okay. There is 1 on each, it looks like, but they're adding. So clearly I'm not deleting it as I should. So loading spells from... okay. Reload magic spells panel. Remove spell buttons. This part doesn't seem to be working. Remove spell buttons. See how many we are removing.
This will come in handy.
Still need to do a right click on this to show the details of what the heck that is.
This will come in handy.
Alright. Okay. Moving spell buttons, there, 0, that's good. Loading air magic, that's good. Aha. Okay. So we must not be adding them to this right here. So instantiate. All right, so this is where we're adding. Yeah, we just didn't add it here. Okay. The add new spell button. Okay, and the icon's not. Oh yeah, the icon is going. It's just gray. Why is it gray? Why are they gray? Because the material is the grayscale material. I see. Okay, I'll need to change that on the prefab. Magic spell button. So that's a trick that you can use a material on on the images, and the material just has SFB grayscale. Oh, did I make this myself? I must have made this myself. I wonder how. It's been a while, so I don't remember how, but essentially it makes it grayscale, so you can even animate that if you wanted to. I wish there was less delay between the YouTube stream and what I'm seeing. 148, line 148 on Writer. Michael, unfortunately, I don't know what script you're referring to now. All right, let me press play again. Learn us some spells.
This will come in handy. This will come in handy.
And display those spells. Good. Good, 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 good. Healing Touch got clicked. Healing Touch got clicked. Wait a minute. Healing Touch. Body Magic. Body Magic. Oh, it's still loading spells from Body Magic. Okay. Why is it not loading spells from the active magic panel? Active player magic panel. So this needs to be updated. What happens when I click one of these? Magic button got pressed. Magic panel. Oh, so let's see. Magic panel, magic book panel. These are the same damn thing. So let's just give ourselves some errors to fix. Any other errors? Getting close to actually casting. If you you remember, these buttons over here were from a live stream, what, a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, I don't even remember now. And in the process of getting these buttons working, I decided I need to do this and that and the other thing, and that's where we are today, where I wanted to get these buttons working to make these buttons into the actual buttons and tie them all together. But with that, I added the voice module, and it took a few days to make that module and release it on the asset store for free, by the way. Oh, here's a bug that I'm gonna have to figure out. Sometimes if the camera is moving when I press pause, it does this. Sometimes it can actually be turning. Yeah, so that'll make a person sick, right? So I'm gonna have to fix that one day. Okay. Sidetracked.
This will come in handy. This will come in handy.
And spells. Okay, loading spells from Mind Magic. Okay. Loading spells from Body Magic. And Healing Touch. Okay. Loading spells from Mind Magic. And Feeble Mind. Perfect. Now, we could do the cast right away, but I think we need to do the right click where you can then see spell details panel, and that's this, where it comes up there. Or not. I think the first thing is I need to make sure that the data that's loading is the right not proficiency, mastery, whether it's novice, expert, master, or grandmaster. Right now I'm just pulling data from novice, but I think I need to just, this is what I mentioned earlier, I need to go back and make sure I'm pulling the right one here. So for each, let's see. So the mastery is going to be based on the spell class, the skill, the books, not the individual spells. So this is where I can find the mastery. String mastery equals novice. We'll just start with that. Spell book mastery, call it that, and okay, we'll add that there. So default to novice, but now we can find the mastery. Probably have a built-in method of this already, and let's see if I do. What would that be? That would be stat or skill. So it'd be active player dot stat or skills dot get mastery. Oh, we have to get this dot get active player dot get stat or skill. There we go. By active magic panel dot get nope. Okay, stat or skill equals that. Okay, so we get the stat or skill first. And then once we have the stat or skill, mastery, there we go. String, so spell book mastery equals ss.mastery. Okay, so instead of all that, we'll just do this dot mastery. All right, so to get the mastery, active player get the stat or skill by this skill, and then the mastery. And I'm going to make sure okay. Let's just see if it works. The coffee's cold. There's only a tiny bit left.
This will come in handy. This will come in handy.
Okay, so it appears to be working. So we're going to avoid the right click for now. Instead, I want to cast this spell. So let's see. Feeble Mind, no. Healing Touch, no.
This will come in handy. This will come in handy.
Okay, so that's going to need to load. That's a bug. It didn't load automatically until I clicked one of these. So that's going to have to fix that. This is going to be Magic Missile or Stun. Neither of those are ones I can cast on the party.
This will come in handy.
Feeble Mind. Alright, so I guess the one I'm going to cast is going to be Healing Touch, because I can cast it on a person here. The idea will be you click it and it goes to the next process, which loads it on deck, closes the menu, or I guess, does it close the menu if you're just going to cast it on one of these characters? I guess it does, yeah. Because you could cast it on an NPC, I suppose, too. Alright, let me fix that first bug. Let's find out where it lives. Hey, Santu, how are you? It's going well. I think I might actually get to the bonus part where we cast a spell before I get so hungry that I want to stop. But, we'll see. Alright, where did that bug live? If I go to my inventory, learn a skill.
This will come in handy. This will come in handy.
Okay, so when I click this, it should load the spells from the first default spell class, and it's not going to. I did, motherfucker. Okay, well. Let's see if I can.
This will come in handy.
Okay. So, nope, not there. So, it didn't have anything there. So, technically, this probably happened on the on enable part. Link player in reload UI. I'm going to debug this. Debug.log. Okay. And then actually put this down here. Oh, this could be it right here. But we're loading the spellbook buttons. Or no, we didn't load them here. So that could be why. So we'll make this 1. Make this 0. Just gonna try to see where it's getting stuck, because it should load right there on awake. We can maybe test here. Okay, so it's going through 0, 0, 0. Over and over and over. But the first time it did go through these. And it should go through both of those. Okay.
This will come in handy.
Alright, see, so it definitely got stuck here because the active player how do we call that L error? Huh. Alright, since the active player we're returning, the whole idea is that this would change if we went to a different active player, and we should see that active player, and then yeah, so that part worked. That's the concept, but since the active player is already there. Where do we call this from? On enable and late update. Okay. So I guess on enable, we need to just do these instead. So on enable, we'll just, instead of doing that, do that and these two. And we can probably move this into a method as well. So a private void set active player. Just do that, and so instead of calling that here, we'll call set active player and set active player up here. Okay, let's see if that works.
This will come in handy. This will come in handy.
Okay. I think so. Active player is set. That's why, because we were saying the active player already.
This will come in handy.
All right, that fixed that bug. Okay, we can remove these now. I'll have to restart the game. So, gotta decide if I want to do the next part because I am getting hungry. And the truth is, we talk through what happens when you click on a button, a magic spell. Essentially, all magic. Well, no, that's not true. Magic spells can be one of two broad kinds. A magic spell that just happens, let's say like Torchlight. Torchlight would be a spell that
This will come in handy.
that just happens. It creates a light. So you don't cast it on something. You just cast it. The other ones are ones that have a target. The targets could be player on a player portrait. They could be a NPC in here that you click on in the world, or an enemy, so some actor essentially. Perhaps even on an object, like if there's a unlock spell that you can cast on a lock, on a door, or a grate, or a chest. And then there could be other ones that are like fireballs, which you don't have to click it on a bad guy. You can click it anywhere and it will still cast. Others would be like area of effect that, you know, needs some sort of like UI to show where it will show off in the distance or here or whatever. So if it's one like Torchlight, then when you click it, it just casts. But if it's one like Feeble Mind, it has to open a new option to cast it on something. Now you could cast it on one of your own party members, or you could cast it on someone out here. If you cast it on one of your party members, I don't know why you would do that, but maybe there's a reason. And then that would give them a condition. And do we have that set up already? Because I was working on the conditions before. We don't have Feeble Mind as a condition yet, but we can add it. So yeah, I guess the first step is saying, okay, is this a, I mean, all of these are ones you cast on something. So I guess what we need is a instant cache or instant add, and this is just a boolean. And so all of these should be false. Okay. So if it's not instant, then we will do an option to cast it on something. So what happens when I click this? I got clicked, feeble mind. Okay. It's gonna have to be a lot of these that are gonna be like, this is what I was doing before. Those are all old. Got clicked. I got clicked. So UI spell. Should I add then the style skill here? I guess I should. Or rather, it's an item. Spell item. Look. Item spell item. And then UI spell dot spell item equals, do I save, do I have it? I think yes, equals spell. Okay. And if spell item dot dictionary dot get bool value bool instant, we're going to debug.log. This is an instance spell. And so close the menu and cast. That's what we have to do. But that's going to be a to-do item. And then otherwise, and return. Otherwise, we're going to put the spell on deck. And then close the menu. And that's that. So how do we close the menu? A double-click spell assignment along with drag and drop help the spellcaster. So you're thinking like you double click this to cast it, or drag it down here? Think oh yeah, a double click might where it gets selected and then click once more to activate. That might be better, yeah. Then I could make use of the grayscale as well. I'm thinking. So I'm not going to do the drag and drop because I want the user to choose where they cast it, and it could be on an NPC or another actor or the portrait. So it's going to be a choice. So drag and drop just is one extra thing to not add, essentially. but the double click does make sense. Or the click to select and then click again to activate. Because there also can be the quick spell option, and so you need that selected to make it a quick spell. Set as a quick spell. Alright, so to do that, we'll start them all as not selected for now. I think I'll eventually cache that and save it. What we're essentially talking about is if I
This will come in handy.
have this,
This will come in
and go
handy.
here, this will be not selected, so it would be grayscale. So that means that each UI spell needs to know if it's selected. I think everything here is bold. Below is old. I think so. So public bool is selected equals false. Selected. And then just see where that grayscale lives. Remind myself. So this button, material, okay. And each one of these is going to have, so header required. So public material selected, public material, material not selected, say. All right, so public void late update, check material, private void, this will be private, not public, check material, if is selected, and UI spell on this, yes. Private image, oh, I have that there, but comment that out. Get component image, okay, good. And image dot material equals not selected. We'll return. So if we're not selected and material is correct, then it will return. And if we are selected and material is correct, then we'll return. Otherwise, image.material equals is selected. If that is selected, then we'll say selected, otherwise not selected. I don't know which one's really faster, if it even matters, but I feel like this would be faster than just doing that every frame for every spell. Alright, so let's set these on the prefab and see what happens. Thanks for the tip, Michael. Easier to do this now than to do this later. Okay. Magic spell, book button. Where's the prefab? Okay. I already had these set. That's fine. It's okay. Alright. Let's see if it starts properly.
This will come in handy. This will come in handy.
All right. Okay. So now, when I got clicked, we have to find out if we're selected. So if not is selected, then select this and return. Private void select this. So is selected was true. And we'll check the material instantly. And then that's it. Right? Do we want to, I guess it's probably, how would we save it on the player? So the same spell is selected when you come back to this panel. The player is saving the magic panel that's selected, but not the magic spell. I could have an array and just hard code it. I could try that for now. Public string array. Magic spell selected equals new. I always forget how to do this. I think 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That should be it. I think. Let's find out. UI spell. So now we're going to need to know which spell index this is going to be. So we're going to hide these later, but magic book index equals -1. Then when we add it, UI spell dot magic book index equals this one. No. Why do I have an alarm? I have an alarm for 1 o'clock, and I can't remember why. Was it leftover from yesterday? Could be. think it was leftover from yesterday. So what I'm thinking here is that the player will just keep a local list of which spell is active, and when we load them, we'll just call that. But in order to do that, we need to know which magic panel it is. Magic panel. Ah, okay. Ah, this works. Okay. So, okay, so we might not need this actually. Select this and game dot okay, I need to import game using static infinity ppr dot legend of the stones dot game and game dot active player dot selected magic spell selected game dot active player dot magic panel equals spell name. Okay, and then copy this. It'll say if that equals spell name, then is selected equals true. Let's see if that works. Ah. Yeah, lunchtime is definitely coming up. I'm not going to get to the casting, by the way. That's for sure. But if I can get to this selected part, stop. Because I can add some debugs to remind myself later what I was doing. Alright, so let's learn this.
This will come in handy.
Oops.
This will come in handy. I already
This
know
will
this
come in
amazing
handy.
spell.
Okay. Magic. It's not selected. So if we go out and then go back, it's not selected, not selected, not selected. Select it. Okay, it's selected. Go out, come back, not selected. Okay. Well, I got clicked. Select this. Let's see. I think I made it public so I could see what's going on. Magic spell selected. It's empty. Is this the right? No. Oh, we're looking at element 2 right now. Okay. Close. So Healing Touch is still... Oh, look at that. It briefly goes away. So that's being added properly. But when I load it, it's not going properly. Okay, we'll use spell.check active, and we'll make that method. And do that here. So game, okay, debug.log, check active, game.active player.magic panel, and then we'll just add this as well, and spell name. All right, all those things. Just put some dividers in there. All right, let's reload and try that again.
This will come in handy. This will come
Bug
in
that'll make you
handy.
sick. Okay. Check active 0. Healing touch. Now, of course, it's nothing. It's active. So now we go close it and load it again. Healing touch, active. Okay. Oh. So now it's working?
This will come in handy.
Huh. Now it's working. Alright, well, I don't know why. But that is a good place to stop. Thank you, Michael, the only one left watching. I will have to finish the rest after lunch or some other time. Maybe later today. It's probably a good day to go outside. Get some fresh, smoky California air. All right. See ya, everybody.